it's Liz Yuille from Old Staples Crafts. Thank you for joining me again today. I'm a UK-based independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so do remember, if you need any of the products I show you, or indeed any other Stampin' Up! Products, it would be fantastic if you chose to shop with me, and there's a link in the description bar below how to do that. Today is an Inspire Create Challenges day. So we've got a new challenge for you. We have a challenge for you every fortnight, and this time it is a sketch challenge, and it's a really easy sketch. It's simply a card base with a circle in the middle. So really simple. Everybody hopefully has got either a circle stamp or a circle punch or dies that means you could take part. It's great when we see lots of entries. We love seeing lots of entries. Our only caveat is that, well, there are a couple of caveats. A, you have to sign up for the challenge within the 2-week time frame, but also you are only allowed to enter our challenge if you use that project for no more than 3 other challenges. We do get some people who seem to think that they can enter 10 challenges, including ours, but our rules do say it's 3 other challenges. And you just put a link with your challenge, with a picture, a linking ideally to your website, but it can be a Pinterest board, it can be all sorts of things. So that's it, and this is a really simple challenge. Link to my blog post is going to be immediately below, and that will have all the information to link through to the Inspire Create Challenges website and the challenge information. So I'm using the Very Versailles stamp set. I love this. It's a distinctive stamp set. It's got a few really helpful sentiments. So have a beautiful day, thank you, and always thinking of you. So it covers a multitude of occasions, and it is gorgeous. This is the stamp set, and this is the project, and you can see I've been doing some stamping off. My grid paper has got to the point where I need to just let it go to the grid paper in the sky, otherwise known as use it for rough paper. So this is my project. That's the word I'm looking for today. So I've used 3 of the stamps. I've used 3 colours. So we're using Grey Granite, Blushing Bride and Mossy Meadow. It's actually a really nice colour combination. There you are, those are the colours. I'm using ink in all of them, and the stitched circles. So yeah, let me get going. I'm going to make it slightly different in that I'm going to change the colour of the card base and the mat, and just see which one actually looks better, because sometimes it can change the whole feel of a card just by changing a couple of the elements around. So I'm not changing the elements, I'm just switching them between each other. So let me get started. It is a Stamparatus project, because in order to line up the circle, well, I've got 2 stamps that I need to line up with the circle. So I've got the vine, or the leaves, and the words. So using a Stamparatus means that you can get both of them lined up perfectly for both colours. I'm not sure I explained that terribly well, but anyway, there we go. So I've got a card base, which is my usual 5 and 5. No, it's not. I've got a mat, which is 5.5 by 3 3/4. And that is one of my usual size mats. So I'm going to do this in Grey Granite, except I don't need to put that down just yet. Brain dangerous. So the first thing I'm going to do is ink up my first stamp, and I'm going to use the leaves first. The Stamparatus has been made so that your ordinary stamp pack, box, case, that's the word, case, is just the right thickness to put behind your plate and have it flat for inking up. So ink up and stamp off once, then bring in your card mat, pop it down and stamp with 2nd generation. Just press that again. There we go. Remove this again, because we now need the words. And the words are going to probably go off the top of the screen, but I will bring them back down again. So the words are on the other stamp plate that comes with your Stamparatus. That doesn't look particularly well inked. That's better. That's all I'm going to need that for at the moment. So again, stamp off once, bring back in your mat, and simply stamp over the top of the leaves. And it's meant to be not perfect, it's faded into the background. That is what we are going for. So that's that. So I now need to clean my stamps because I'm going to use different colours for the piece that we're going to die cut. So I've cut my chamois in half, or one of my chamois in half, because it's perfect for cleaning up the plates. I've got a scrap of paper. You can see it's a scrap because it's not cut straight. So I'm just going to ink up my leaves first, which I'm going to do in Mossy Meadow. Good to go, and that's all I need my Mossy Meadow for, so I'll close that up. Stamp. That's better. And then Blushing Bride for the words. And I've gone this way round because A, leaves are green, and B, the Blushing Bride script. You can't read the script, so having it in a slightly lighter colour means that it kind of works better, in my humble opinion. So that is all our stamping done. I'll take one of the plates out and close up my Stamparatus. So this we need to die cut. So I've got the largest of these stitched shapes. The stitched shapes are brilliant. They've been around for a while now, but you get stitched squares, ovals and circles, and this is the largest of the circles. They do nest with the layering dies as well, so they are particularly for the ovals, they are the same oval. So that is always good to go. So I'm going to place it so that it's kind of even top and bottom, and then run this through my Big Shot, which is to one side. Obviously you can use any die cutting machine you want. Just make sure you get your sandwich right, and most die cutting machines will give you a sandwich for what these are called wafer thin dies. So just then pop that out and you get your nice stitched edge. So, okay, this I'm going to pop up onto dimensionals. And then we have the fun of trying to line it up. So I'm going to need 5 dimensionals, because I want one for the middle, and one for each of the quarters. I was going to say corners, but it's not corners, it's quarters. And then you need to, so I find that lining up these leaves works quite nicely, and once you've got the leaves sorted out at the top, just check at the bottom and make sure your lines of script are running straight. And there we go. So that's our card basically done, and that is the circle for the sketch. So the only other thing I need is a strip of Whisper White, and this is just an offcut, and a strip of grey granite. And the grey granite is 3/4 of an inch. This is about 1/2 inch, but it's one of those because it's just an offcut, and this is just a little bit larger than the offcut. So it's, again, it's not a definite dimension, it's just slightly bigger. And then I've got the Always Thinking of You. Oh, no, I'm going to give that another go because it was a bit too far down. that's better. Fortunately, card has two sides, so it's all good. Right, I'm bringing in the tailored tag punch because I want to have arrow at the end of my sentiment, and this works quite well because you can just pick up that bit, and I find that where it's got the Stampin' Up logo is quite a good way of making sure that you've got everything even, and then just punch. So that's one end, and I'm just feeding it through from the top. You could feed it through from this end if you want, but I just find it's easier for me to do it this way round and punch. Now I'm going to stick this onto my grey granite before I punch the grey granite, because I did find that that was easier. So, ooh, no, that's the right side I want. This is the side I'm sticking down. This was my first attempt. So just a little bit of snail, and then pop this so that it's got a narrow margin all round. And then again, just feed that through and get that same margin. And again, we can line up with the Stampin' Up logo and punch, and that gets you that nice even margin. And again, line it up for the margin, line it up for the logo, and punch. And it's just my way of doing the smaller ones. You can do it with the triple banner punch, but it's not quite so easy because we're doing the inverted. And then this, I'm just going to stick onto the front of the circle. Somewhere I've got the one I made earlier. Let's get it in roughly the same place. Okay, so it was towards the bottom. Now this one I've actually cut quite a lot shorter, but that sometimes happens. So that just goes there. And then if I bring in my mat and my card blank, I've used the long thin version of a half sheet of A4, but you could do a side fold rather than a top fold, but as I said before, I actually find it easier to photograph by having a top fold, so that's the only reason. Now I have got some liquid adhesive, which I'll stick this to the card blank first. Ooh. So you don't need a huge amount. So pop that on. And I really quite like the look of Mossy Meadow against Blushing Bride. Now I know I don't often use liquid adhesive for Whisper White, but it's all right as long as you don't put too much on. Ooh! And of course I've used the wrong size card mat. Okay, so I'm going to pop this onto a piece of silicone. You see, this is what happens when you're not concentrating. This is a full-size mat and I wanted a half-size mat. So I am going to have to trim. It's fine, it'll be fine. I'm going to press that onto the silicone to remove some of the glue, and I can trim that side. And I'm going to have to just clean my trimmer when I've finished. You see, we all make mistakes. Ooh, that's not straight. We all make lots of mistakes, apparently. Right, that's that. I might have to trim that a bit with my snips as well. See, I always say you get real life with me, and I don't lie. And the 5.5. I would not recommend putting your card into your trimmer when it's got glue on the back of it. It's really not a great plan, but there we go. Okay, somewhere I've got some snips. I just need to trim there because that's where I suddenly realised I'd gone crooked. There we go. Okay, should we try that again? In fact, I'm going to do a dry run, as it were. Yep, that's fine. So I'll actually put the adhesive onto the onto this mat. Apparently not with that tube of glue. Let's find another one. That's better. And then because I've used liquid adhesive, I've got that little bit of wiggle room. And that's better. Phew! So there we go. Those are my two versions of the same card. So they do actually look different. They look definitely the same, but they look definitely different. Possibly that one you could send to a man and that one to a woman, but who knows. Anyway, I hope you found that entertaining. If you've enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, it's in the bottom right hand corner. It would be lovely to increase my subscriber numbers. As I say, if you need any of these products, they are listed below, and there's also a link to my website below, which will have some close-up photographs, the dimensions as they should be, and also a link through to the Inspire Create Challenges website so that you can enter the challenge. I look forward to seeing your challenges on the ICC website, and in the meantime, I will hopefully see you again very soon.